welcome to this episode of Husband, Father, Man. I am your host, Carrie Braggs, and today we're going to be discussing things a little differently as I offer my services to the public at large with our marriage enrichment sessions. So for those of you who know, this is a YouTube channel called Husband, Father, Man. And usually on this channel, I discuss marriage, I discuss parenting, and manhood and womanhood issues. So we can just kind of cover all of the bases. But many did not know that I am in ministry in real life, that I am an ordained minister, and that I perform weddings, I preach sermons, I perform funerals, all the duties of a minister, because I am a minister. So with that being said, I would like to reach out to everyone and let them know that my wife and I, we have marriage enrichment sessions available for those who are married and those who are on their way to marriage. And so let me just tell you about how these sessions work. So there are 6 sessions all together. Each one of them are an hour long. And so the thing of it is this here. We put these together after we went through our trials and tribulations early on in our marriage. We didn't have anyone to guide and direct us, and so over the years we just started looking at different things and how we weathered those storms and made it to the next level. And so now we provide these sessions whenever we are doing premarital counseling or premarital enrichment. So let me tell you the difference. So what we do with marriage enrichment is we give you the tools needed to be able to honestly come together on one accord and do things in the right manner to take your marriage to the next level, how it should be. And so if you focus on these things and keep things kind of pretty tight knit, then you won't get to a point where you're talking about divorce or counseling and things like that. And so the marriage enrichment is something that we do on the front end to give you tools so you won't end up on the back end needing professional counseling. But if you may be in a situation or relationship within your marriage to where you are past the enrichment stage and you do need counseling, we do have counselors that we work with, and we will be glad to pass their numbers along to you. And so now I'll talk about the sessions themselves so you can just kind of know how things go. So in session number 1, it's a getting to know you stage. So we sit down, we talk with you and your spouse, or you and your who you're engaged to, all of that good stuff. And we get to know you, what's going on in your relationship, where you are, and things like that. And then in session 2, we move on to talking about communication and compromise. So within marriage, there must be communication. I hear it all the time. We went through it ourselves, that if your communication is not good and nobody is willing to compromise and things like that, then you're not going to make it. But something as simple as taking the time to sit down and discuss things together to kind of understand what the other one is thinking and feeling versus you did this on purpose and you trying to hurt me and you know, and then you decide to get even, or you always expect them to give and you're not going to give, you're not going to get very far. This is about having the mindset and heart set to actually go forth and have a successful marriage. And so you got to be willing to talk with your spouse, compromise with your spouse, because remember, within marriage, we have to focus on being selfless instead of selfish. So in life, we normally think of ourselves first. We think of what we want this marriage to look like. But we need to switch that thinking up and say, hey, what is it that my spouse is looking for out of this marriage? What do they need from me? And so you think about that. If you are focused on your wife and your wife is focused on you, then it's a win-win situation, because that means you're listening to one another, you're trying to bring joy to the other and be on one accord, as we are called to do as we come together in marriage per our vows. And so session number 3 deals with finances. A lot of times finances are out of order. I've talked to people to where they are not willing to put all the money in one pot. They don't even want their spouse to know how much they make and all of these things. You can't do that. That's not one accord thinking. You can't say it's my money and your money and I'm going to do what I want with my money, because you took a vow. And in the vows it says what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. It says that right there in the vows, that everything comes together in one pot and it's ours. And so you all have to figure out the best way to handle your money. No one should be spending money and putting you all in financial crisis because they're used to getting a new outfit every week, or they're used to going to buy something when they want. There has to be an order to where there's a discussion. You all get an allowance. You all say, hey, we can make a purchase up to this amount without consulting the other and things like that. But there has to be where you are on one page and be able to move forward, where at any time you all can pull up what's going on in bank accounts and know what's what, and you all determine how your money is going to go, how much you're going to give towards tithe and offerings, how much you're going to put into savings, how much you're going to set aside for vacation, how much you're going to set aside for blow money, making sure the bills are paid. All of these different things need to be discussed, because when you are telling your money what to do and where it goes, then you can move forward in a good manner. Because so many times we don't know where our money is going. We just buy off impulse and do things, and that puts us in a bad situation in the long run. So finances is session number 3. Now session number 4 is one that I think is another big issue. We call this one circles and in-laws or outlaws. Circles and in-laws or outlaws. So what this is talking about is, when it comes to life, there are circles, and everybody belongs in different circles, you know. And if somebody is in the wrong circle, then we have a problem. And many times we need to get this understanding coming into the marriage. A lot of times people put their kids in the wrong circle. They put their friends or siblings in the wrong circle and things like that. But we sit down and discuss the fact that, hey, you know, these circles go like this. You know, hey, first circle is husband and wife, second circle kids, third circle parents, siblings, family members, and so on, friends, co-workers, all that. And so, you know, it goes further out as it goes along. But if people aren't willing to put people in the right circle, then that will cause a lot of issues. You know, I tell people a lot of times, one thing we deal with a lot of times is the kids being in the wrong circle, or the parents being in the wrong circle, having input in things, and just stuff like that. And one thing I always tell people when we're having our sessions is, hey, how it was set up was, we grew up with our parents, and they were there, and then we left and started our lives. And now we're here, our kids are with us, we teach them, they grow up and they go start their lives. So remember, we started off, we left home and started our own lives, and our children left our home and started their own lives. So guess what? At the end of all that, it's just supposed to be you and your spouse left. So there's no way I'm going to let my parents, who don't even live with me, they're not paying the bills, they're not taking care of anything over here, mess up what I have going on. So no, they're not a part of this first circle. And then my kids, I'm not going to let our kids drive a wedge between us and play all these games, and then they go off and they get married and live their lives, and then my marriage is messed up. No, sir. So the parents, hey, you did your job, thank you, but I got this now. You can't be over here directing traffic because you're not putting in on the bills. So, well, some people might. That's another story. But even my kids, hey, when you hit 18, you out. You getting ready to go start your own life, but you're not gonna mess up and you living a happy life. I'm sitting here like, man, we divorced now. No, thank you. So you have to get that right. Another thing is in-laws or outlaws. That's a question of, are you going to do things in the right manner with your in-laws to where you can be at peace with them, where you can go to family gatherings on each side of the family without there being foolishness, without there being harsh feelings and always confusion at gatherings and things like that. So you decide, hey, are we going to be at peace with our in-laws, or is there going to be foolishness and confusion and we look at them more like outlaws to where there's always drama? And so within that, whoever side of the family is, you have to take the lead. So if it's my family that's keeping up confusion with my wife when we're trying to do things and stuff like that, it's my job to step up to the plate and make an appeal to them and say, hey, look, this is my wife. I love her and I want everybody to get along, but I can't allow you to do something that hurts her feelings or steps on her toes. We can't do that. So you have to seek to make peace as much as you can. And the same if it's my spouse and her family having issues with me, that is her job to bring things into order, to try to make sure that we have a good in-law relationship where everything goes good, instead of it being an outlaw situation where it's like every time we get together, it's going to be some confusion, some argument, possibly fights, all kind of crazy stuff. I've seen it all. And so we want to try to prevent those things. And so session number 5 deals with what roles you're going to play and intimacy within your marriage. So within this, a lot of times we play out of positions. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When you look at the Bible, we were given certain roles and positions for a reason, and so we have to be willing to step up to the plate and do our due diligence. And even if we change things around and do them a certain kind of way, we still must be in agreement. No one can just decide, hey, I know you're supposed to be doing that, but I'm going to do it. Or that's your job and I'm going to tell you how to do it. No, it doesn't work that way. It's just about us knowing our position and playing our position well. So, it's just like in the classroom. The teacher's job is to teach. The student's job is to listen and learn. So there's no reason that when class starts, a student should be up at the whiteboard trying to teach the class, because he's playing out of position. That's not his job. And so it's very important that we make sure that we establish our roles and how it's going to go with paying the bills and dealing with the kids and the upkeep of the house and just things like that. We all need to make sure we know what we're going to do and that we're in agreement on how it's going to go, because once again, when certain things come up, you won't have a situation where you're looking at your spouse like, hey, how come you're not taking care of that? But we will have the mindset, hey, if this is my job, then my spouse shouldn't have to look at me cross-eyed about it. This is my job. Hey, this is on my list. I'm going to take care of it. And if we're doing that, we have our list and we're taking care of things, everything should move forward smoothly. And as far as intimacy, we have to make sure that we are intimate spiritually, physically, mentally, all of those things. It says in the Bible, don't be trying to hold out on sex and and getting caught up in your emotions with different stuff to where there's no one accord. Because remember, one accord, we are two people coming together on one accord. That's very intimate. That's very intimate. You can't be doing your thing over here and they're doing their thing over there and you have intimacy. So I always say, we have to be in each other's face. Because when I feel that me and my wife aren't close, then I'm not ashamed to say it. I get in her face, and not a bad way. I'm like, oh, he roll up on it. No, I'm saying I get in her face to where wherever she's at in the house, that's where I'm at. I'm like, hey, what you doing? doing a little work right now. Okay, how long before you finish? So I'm checking the time. I'll be back in a little while. Or, hey, you want to watch TV? You want to watch a movie? You want to hang out? You know, or if she comes to me and say, hey, you want to hang out later or whatever, I make myself available. It's all about coming up with as many things as possible to be intimate on, to be close on, to have common interests in, to build up things to where as you go along in life, that's just a part of it. We do things together. We are one. We you know, when she move, I move, just like that, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's the thing of it. We have to be intimate with one another. And the last one on the list is session number 6. We talk about legacy. What are you going to leave behind from your life and for your children? So we talk about legacy, and then we talk about also what we gather from you through these sessions, where you are in each area, and things that need to be changed and brought up to the next level for you to be able to move forward with whatever it is you're doing. And so normally, as I said, we do these sessions prior to me marrying someone, so you have the tools going into marriage. We were not given these tools. And so once again, the marriage enrichment is on the front end, to where if you take these tools and you actually use them within your marriage, you should be successful and get where you're going. Me and my wife just celebrated our 19-year anniversary, and I will not sit here and say it has not been without its issues. But one thing I know about me and her, we are dedicated to this marriage. You know, over the years, I mean, we've gone through it all. We don't mind. We've gone to marriage conferences, seminars, marriage groups trying to bring folks together. We've gone to counseling, because I feel like this: if there is something going on and we need to bring in outside information, outside perspective, a fresh set of eyes, somebody to come in and even mediate, whatever it takes, I'm willing to do anything. Why? Because I said, till death do us part. And so for me to sit there and have somebody mediate, and she may say, hey, he's always doing this and that makes me mad and that's messing things up. Okay, fine. If I need to be called out on something by somebody and I'm blind to it and I'm not seeing it when she says, that's fine, because it's not about me versus her. It should be it should be about, if something is not in order, we want to do everything we can to bring things closer and put them back in order. So there's no shame in doing anything you can to keep your marriage strong and do other things to strengthen it even further. I mean, we've taught classes and different things, so it's like, hey, we're all in. We believe in marriage, and we just want to do our part. And so I just want to let everybody know, once again, this is more than just a channel. I am truly in ministry. And so if anyone knows someone who may be in need of these sessions, as well as you may be in need of these sessions, feel free to reach out to me. And you can send me an email at carrie@husbandfatherman.com. Once again, that's carrie@husbandfatherman.com. And so you can reach out to me. We will let you know our rates and prices and things, and we'll be able to work something out. And please, also, I'm putting out content on a regular basis, so you can get a lot of free information here on the different videos I put out as well. So I look at it like this is a place full of resources trying to help you get where you're going, because that's what it's all about. There are people who are ahead of us, so those who have been married longer than me, I sit at their feet and I'm following them, and so they're setting a good example. I hope we're setting a good example for you to follow as well, because at the end of the day, the more married couples we keep together, that leaves a wonderful legacy that will go on for generation to generation and live through their children. So that's all I have for today here at Husband, Father, Man. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a few things about it, and it also gave you food for thought. I always want you to walk away with some food for thought, and always show up at these videos looking for something. Don't just look at the video. Look at the video and say to yourself, hey, what am I going to get out of this? And when you come with that attitude, when you come hungry, you will leave full. Oh, I can't go any further. That was awesome. So now, with that being said, I'm done. I'm your host, Kerry Braggs, Husband, Father, Man, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.